Getting ready for an All-Ireland final on the back of winning the league earlier this year. It's already been an excellent year for Galway, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been pretty good now, all right. The league was fantastic, but look, we know it's only league, and like we have a massive step ahead of us, and looking forward to the 8th of September.
You were speaking after the league final about how important the breakthrough maybe was, because Kilkenny had your number a bit over the last few years, and they'd inflicted disappointing defeats on you, like semi-finals. To actually get over the line and beat Kilkenny must have meant an awful lot earlier this year.
It did. It was a great confidence boost to girls. I suppose it made them believe in themselves a little bit more. As you said there, Kilkenny had bet us 3 times the year before that, but look, Kilkenny came back to us in the first round of the championship and bet us 2 points. So we know we have a job on our hands the next day. But look, it's something we're looking forward to.
But given how close the last 4 or 5 meetings have been, there's a nice little rivalry building up, isn't there?
Yeah, like there's only ever a couple of points between the two teams. Like as you said, it's a lovely little rivalry we have going on, but there's going to be nothing between us the next day, absolutely nothing. And look, it's whoever shows up on the day.
When you get back into a final, you were here winning the title in 2013 for Galway, and that was a huge, no more so than Kilkenny in 2016, a great breakthrough success for you on the day. It must be fantastic to be back and within touching distance of potentially winning the title again.
Yeah, look, it is brilliant to be back, but like we've nothing really achieved yet at the minute. We still have a massive 68 minutes ahead of us, and we know we need to improve in our Cork game if we're to go to compete with Kilkenny. And like as you know, they got 2-point win over us in the first round of championship, so that was a hard thing to take. But look, we learned from it, and all we can do now is drive on.
Semi-final was maybe a little bit scrappy, but then that happens sometimes in semi-finals, doesn't it? Because ultimately you're looking at the goal of getting to Croke Park, and it's about winning rather than the nature of the win.
Absolutely, yeah, and I suppose it was kind of a tense game, very physical game against Cork. It was really anybody's until the last couple of minutes, and thankfully we were on the right side of it for a change. We've had 3 years there where we were on the wrong side of it, so yeah, look, just delighted to get through it, and looking forward to Croke Park.
Well, look, yourselves and Kilkenny both bring a bit of physicality to it. And I was chatting to Megan earlier about that as well, and she was saying maybe when the rule changes come around, or if there's considered rule changes, that maybe fair shoulders can be brought in, or the physicality can maybe be accommodated a bit more for Camogie rules. Is that something that you'd agree with, or what do you think?
I'm a physical kind of a player, so yeah. Look, anything that lets us showcase our ability, and a free-flowing game is massive. Wouldn't mind getting rid of that old hand pass rule now if I had my way. But look, it's going to be a massive game for the two teams, and look, all we can do is go out there and show what we got.
As a defender, is the hand pass a frustrating one for you? Because I don't know how you can actually defend against that.
Yeah, it is pretty frustrating because you can't. It's just a hand pass, and there's no, you can't even try and tackle them. But look, it is what it is now, and you just have to kind of get on with it. They're great goals for forwards. It's a great way to go and to get a goal, but for backs, it's not really a great one now at all.
Attendance-wise, we're expecting around 25,000 to be here on September the 8th. I'd imagine, given the Galway are in 2 finals, probably going to account for quite a bit of that crowd as well. Does that help maybe build the excitement? Because I hear 50-odd players were starting out between the 2 panels earlier in the year. To have this journey and to have everyone coming to Croke Park on the same day must be magic for your county.
Oh, absolutely. And it's brilliant for all the younger girls throughout the county to see not alone one team, but 2 teams through to an All-Ireland. It's huge. As you said there's like 53 girls, I think, between the 2 panels all lining out the next day, which is just fantastic. Delighted for the intermediates, they got over the semi-final. I wish them the very, very best of luck against Westmeath, and hopefully the 2 of us will be on the right side of it.
Well, 10 seasons ago, you were here as an intermediate player for the All-Ireland final when you won. So probably you can maybe give us an insight into how important that is developmental-wise to have a good, strong intermediate second team going.
Oh, look, it's brilliant, and the fact that the 2 teams are together under the one management, it's massive for the girls. They're training with us. We bring on each other, and it brings the training up to another level. So it's great. Winning an intermediate final for me was really kicked off my career at Galway Camogie. So something I'd be forever grateful for. And look, as I said, I wish the girls all the best of luck.
What's clicked for you over the last 2 or 3 years? Because your standard has come up a bit here.
Yeah, I suppose in the last year, our management team are just unbelievable in what they do, and what they have done for us this year so far. They leave no stone unturned, and anything we ask for, we get it in abundance, and they just demand the best for us at all times. And look, we respond well off that, and that's how we've got as far as we have.
I'm sure coverage-wise you must be delighted with how things are going as well. Streaming this year for games in the group stages and streaming even outside the Senior Championship. For the first time we've had quarter-finals being televised, semi-finals being televised and all three being televised on the day as well. Camogie has really never got more exposure than it has this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's massive in fairness, and it's been brilliant to see the amount of coverage Camogie's getting. And it's just, you want to encourage girls to come to matches and follow the teams, because they have to see the players to be the players. And if they don't, they're not going to be there. And like, it's just brilliant for the younger kids to be able to go out and see, to let Camogie that it is out there and it is growing, which is massive.
It's not a cliche, but it will help inspire the next generation, because chatting to the Kerry camp earlier, they've got one senior club currently in the county. Their hope is that some girls will just be watching this at the weekend. They'll think about taking up the game. Ultimately, you guys are hoping to be role models to the next generation coming through.
Oh, absolutely. And as you said there, the Kerry captain was talking about one club in the county, and like, thankfully the junior final is being shown on telly, and that's massive. Like, and it'll encourage Camogie down in Kerry, unbelievable. And as you said, like, all we want to do is showcase what we have and bring the younger crowd with us and keep Camogie improving and driving on.
Megan Farr was saying that it's a slightly nervous period, but maybe the nerves haven't quite kicked in until maybe a couple of days before the game. You've been through a lot of games with Galway, a lot of big games. Do you still get that nervy feeling coming up towards Croke Park in a big final?
Oh yeah, definitely. But like, nerves are a good thing; they make you feel alive, I suppose. The butterflies in the stomach. But like, it's. Look, All Ireland final day, it'd be something wrong with you, I don't think, if you were nerves. But yeah, look, you just need to channel them, I suppose, the right way, and use them as an encouraging thing rather than anything else. And look forward to it. That's all you can do.
Kilkenny then, just on the final note, in terms of what they bring to the game, they've been very, very consistent, I think, over the last 5 or 6 years. Been unlucky maybe not to add to that 2016 All-Ireland either side of it as well. Very, very tough task facing you in the final, isn't it?
Oh, huge. Like, we know we need to bring our A game now if we're to compete with them. Look, they're a great team. They've been in the last 3 finals in a row, and as you said there, like, they've narrowly lost the last 2. So look, all we can do now is just look forward to the game, look forward to the challenge, and see what happens.
Are you the type of captain who writes a speech ahead of the final, or what do you think?
I haven't done it yet anyway. I don't know, to be honest. I'm kind of just focusing on the Camogie side of things, and like, look, the 60 minutes we have are the most important 60 minutes of my life, so that's all that matters at the minute.
And I'd imagine as well, great pride captaining your team into an All-Ireland final. It doesn't get any better for a player than that, does it?
Every single player on that team is a leader, so all I have to do really is flick the coin at the start of the match, and sometimes I don't even get that right. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, we all have our jobs, we all have to be leaders, so that's it at the end of the day.
Well, it's slightly more tricky in that you have to try and stop that Kilkenny attack as well. Very best of luck on the 8th of September.
Thanks very much. Thanks a million.
Megan, build up continuing to the All-Ireland final. You get to take on what I suppose I can say at this stage, your rivals Galway, because between All-Ireland semi-finals, between the league earlier this year as well, you've had a few very close meetings and very closely contested games.
Yeah, exactly. We always have a tough battle against Galway. They've been there every year, and putting it up to us. And this year they bet us in the league, and then we bet them in championship. But like, the toughest match we had for the year, so we're looking forward to this big one.
Well, look, one apiece, and now you can look forward to the biggest game of the year as well. And given the fact that I guess 3 years ago you made the breakthrough, a very important success, giving you to wait 22 years to actually lift the cup, I'm sure you're looking forward to potentially doing 2 and 4 years this weekend.
Exactly, yeah. You're just looking forward to this day all year, So to win it will be unbelievable. Like, it's just, we got here now, and we just really have to try and get over the line.
Since the league final, you've been going very well. You won all 4 of your games in the group stages, and you accounted for Tipperary then in the semi-finals as well. You must be very happy with how the summer has gone so far. I know it doesn't count a huge amount in a final, but this has been a good summer for Kilkenny thus far.
Exactly, yeah. The matches have been put up to us all year. This is the match you really want to win, so it doesn't really matter about any other matches now at this stage. So we're just working hard in training, and we're hopefully going to get over it.
As much as the experience of 2016 and winning must be great and fantastic to bank away, the disappointment of semi-finals and finals that Kilkenny have lost in recent years, losing All-Ireland final by a point is difficult at any time. Is that a motivator for you to try and be successful, not to experience days like that again?
Yeah, it always would be. It's always in the back of your mind, but we've kind of learned that, you need to forget about losses and stuff like that. You really need to just concentrate on what's at hand, and that's the All Ireland now next week, and we're just getting excited now.
Your opponents Galway, I think, have come on quite a bit in the last couple of years as well. And I remember they were saying after the league final that was a huge moment for them because they had taken a few losses to you in recent years. I'm sure that's going to be inspiring them ahead of facing you in the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, like Galway did the double there a few years ago, and Beckle-Kenny in it as well. So, and then we won it, and then like they've been always there in the semi-final against us or in league finals and stuff like that. Like, and it's always been absolute dogfight. So we're presuming that's what it's going to be again.
How's the build-up been going in Kilkenny over the last few weeks, getting ready for this final now? Because it's been a couple of weeks since the semi-final. It's always, I guess, a difficult month or so to try and bridge between the two games.
Yeah, no, it is. The excitement is there anyway, and we're just we're trying to forget about it and just work on what's at hand in training. So, like, our clubs are always there behind us and putting up signs and supporting us. So it's great. It's great to see.
You personally have experienced a lot of big days, both with your club and with your county and finals along the way and so on. Does it get any easier getting ready for an All-Ireland final when you do have all that experience banked up already?
I don't know, it's kind of like you try and forget about all of the other things, like, outside of it. But it's nice to have a bit of experience and familiarity with the place, so it's good.
Must be lovely to be joint captain with your sister as well. Not too many families get that where, two of their siblings get to be the captain going into an All-Ireland final.
Yeah, exactly. It's an honour, like, to be captain with my sister, and it's nice because she's well able to do a lot of the talking.
You would have had, I suppose, a group of sisters growing up along. Shelley, your sister, is away at the moment in Australia. When you were growing up, would you have always kind of went to training together? Would you have always hurled in the back garden together? Would that have been something you would have done?
Yeah, we would. Like, all my cousins play as well, and so everybody used to play together at like communions and confirmations and stuff like that. So we go train together and everything. Yeah, so we'd always be talking hurling. So.
And I'd imagine very special to be getting back out onto Croke Park as well. Every player enjoys playing here, don't they?
Exactly, yeah. It's what you've kind of been working towards your whole life. Like, when you're playing, everybody wants to play in Croke Park, and we're here now, so we hope to try and get over the line and win.
6 years ago, you were a water girl in Croke Park for the All-Ireland success for the senior Galway team. Here you are now leading out intermediate team into a final 6 years later. Quite the journey.
Yeah, definitely quite the journey. I suppose, like, in 2013, I was there looking at the girls in awe of them, being like, I want to be there. So it's great to finally get up to adult level and get there and get to play in Croke Park in September. A
lot of the captains have been talking that's about the inspiration. If you're to win, it brings the next generation on. Now, your dad was involved with the team, so you were probably dragged along anyway. But I'd imagine it was just an inspiration of seeing girls from your county bring a trophy back is enough to get you interested in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even doing water for them and stuff, like just watching them, you'd be so, like, that's what you want to be, and that's where you want to be like them, and they inspire you to be like them, really. So you do, and like, it's just great to be finally up here at adult level and to be able to like inspire younger girls and stuff to that they might keep going and don't want to get here as well.
And look, it's fantastic to have two Galway teams in the final on the one day. I'd imagine that's going to bring the colour, it's going to bring the crowd. You would hope for both teams come 2 o'clock on the day.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully now, like with the two teams up there, that we will get serious sport up there. But it's just unbelievable for the county to have the two teams in the All-Ireland. And now that the ladies' football are in it now as well, it's brilliant. Like, it puts such a good buzz around the county and stuff.
I'm going to assume the intermediate team is used a bit developmentally. Is it primarily a younger team that you're using for this year, or do you keep a few older players around to help steer it as well? How does it work?
I suppose we do have a few older players. Like, we've one or two that are actually there in 2013 as well, the year they won it, and they're back down now, we'll say. But a good few of them then as well are still in with the seniors and all that. But we've a development squad there as well that are like in helping with numbers and stuff. But we are very young intermediates. We're a very young team, very young panel, so we are. But yeah.
As an intermediate panel, are you training away from the senior panel, or do you, coming into the All-Ireland final, work with them, or how does that work?
I suppose since last November we were all in training together and stuff, but now that we're both in the All-Ireland finals, we have different game plans, so we are training differently, or at different times and stuff, but we would have 15-a-sides and stuff like that together as well at the same time, which the intensity, Joe would be brought up and all that.
Yeah, look, you've had a good year though as well. You had the group stages, you went through unbeaten. You got a victory over Westmeath, your opponents in the final as well. You must have been very happy with how the group stage campaign went for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I suppose at the start of the year with intermediates, we really took a step by step. And like, as we started winning, we really started to believe in each other. Like, as I said, we're a very young team and stuff. And this would have been the first year for some of us playing together. But like, as the year went on, we really did get a really strong bond as a panel and stuff. And it's really started to believe in. But like, having all of them wins under our belt is great, going into an All-Ireland final. But then on the day, it means nothing as well. It's whoever wants it the most. And whoever's going to work the hardest on the day will win it.
Tremendous experience to get out here in Croke Park as well. You obviously got a bit of feel of it today with the photographs and so on. It's going to be very exciting to play here, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose some of us were lucky enough, we were actually there with club 2 years ago, so we have, but like to be out here with your county is a different level completely, so it is. But it's unbelievable to be up here and experiencing it all, and getting ready for the 8th September now to play in it is just unbelievable. It's exactly where you want to be.
Having been here with club, does that help? Because many people say the first time to play here is very difficult because you can get lost in the surroundings going out there.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose like when you go out there first, you're looking around, like it's massive out there, like, and it can be scary and daunting when you're out there, don't like out there for the first time. But yeah, I suppose it does help to have played in it once before, and a good few of the girls would have played in it like before, so it does go to our advantage the next day going in, I suppose.
Well, look, Westmeath have that as well. They were here a couple of years ago for a Premier Junior success as well. They're trying to push on to senior level as well. So you know the hunger your opposition are going to bring into this fight.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose Westmeath definitely have way more experience up here in Croke Park and winning up here in Croke Park as well. So they have that advantage going in top of us the next day. But you know, like they're an unbelievable team, and we've been lucky enough to get on top of them once, but it won't be as easy the next day. And we know that, and we're hoping that we'll have enough work done to get on top the next day. But it'll be a hard job.
And despite the fact they were playing Premier Junior a couple of years ago, they've played a couple of years now in Division 2 of the league against intermediate teams as well. So I think they're seasoned about playing against teams at your level then.
Yeah, definitely. They're a very steady team, and like they're done so well up junior 2 years ago and competed very well last year in the intermediate as well. Like I think we only bet them a point last year as well. So like they're a very strong team, so they could jump straight into it. But no, they'll be hard bet now the next day.
Given that you've got two groups of teams getting ready for an All-Ireland final, you said the ladies footballers have one later on next month as well. What's the preparation been like in Galway? Has there been excitement building ahead of the 8th of September?
Yeah, I suppose like there's a good buzz around the county and stuff, and it's great. It's great that people are getting out supporting the girls and stuff, and it's nice to see the women's teams going so far. But having the two panels, the two camogie panels, and like training together since last November, it's just unbelievable that all of us, that all 52 girls are getting up to Croke Park now the next day and getting their chance. And then it's just unbelievable having the footballers there as well.
The senior team are going to be in maroon on the day. You're going to be in white. You're wearing the white jersey at the moment as well. Westmeath are going to be in navy with a touch of maroon on the side of it as well. But you were saying you've worn white quite a bit during the year, so it doesn't concern you to have to switch for the final?
No, it doesn't. Some of the girls now will be laughing, but we're very like pishroggy. We like to keep things the same. So we've had the white jerseys since the first round, so we wouldn't really let them change them on us anyway. We wanted to keep with the white. But yeah, the seniors keep with the maroon and we're keeping with the white, so we're happy enough with that.
Well, look, the very best of luck getting ready for the 8th of September and potentially a double for Galway on the day as well.
Fingers crossed now. Thanks a million.
This was the end goal since January when we started training, even during the league. You know, Croke Park was the end goal to get there, and after that we'd worry about the team then who we'd be playing. But all summer, end goal was to get there on the 8th of September.
And for you guys, it's going to be a first chance to play at Croke Park. You got a chance to see the ground today. I'd imagine you're impressed, are you?
It's incredible. I'm so impressed. Even when we're outside taking photos, it's miraculous. Like, it's unreal the work that's gone into it for the footballers this weekend. It's a carpet, it's glowing. It's genuinely glowing out there. So it'll be incredible to play there on the 8th.
The work that you guys have done, do you work with your senior panel or how does it work out? Because I guess every county nearly has a different approach to their second team. How does it work in Limerick?
We have been training separately, but to be fair, you know, we're a very new squad and things. The seniors have been there now a few years, you know, together as a close, tight-knit group. So it probably worked better that we were kept separate. We had to get to know each other, you know, the junior team, even when the minors came in. So we were still working together as a team, whereas the seniors are obviously very close and they had their own goals, you know, and their own training and their own priorities. So we actually trained on separate nights, but we're all very close, we're all very friendly, we're all very supportive. So we'd still be very familiar with each other and things like that, but training wise, it was best we trained separately.
When it comes to the age profile, are you using this as a developmental team or how's it working?
We're young, we're really young. I'm the oldest, I'm 25. A lot of the girls have only just done their leaving cert, and there's a few more that are only going into their leaving cert this week. So we're really young. So, I mean, it's definitely the development and the work that's been put into the development in Limerick down through the years. I mean, the girls had a brilliant minor campaign this year. Our under-16s had a brilliant campaign. They got to the All-Ireland final as well. Our under-15 development squad got to the All-Ireland final and beat Kilkenny as well. So there's been huge progress, and it's down to all the hard work of the volunteers in Limerick and our support from LIT and the Woodlands, the Fitzgerald's family, you know. And I think it's that development down through the years that it's coming into our junior team now. We're reaping the awards. The younger girls are coming up. And I mean, Shauna Darcy got a goal last weekend. She was only just on the pitch. So it's probably showing you the confidence that the younger girls are coming up with as well, and the skill. It's brilliant.
It seems almost obvious, though, if you were to get to intermediate level, it will give you an even better platform then to develop these young players coming through.
Yeah, I mean, like Galway are here today, and they have two of the girls here with them, you know. Cork won the double last year, Galway did it in 2013, and Kilkenny did it as well, I think only 2 or 3 years ago. So I mean, if Limerick, even for the seniors, you know, we want to be there as well. And if we could have a second team in intermediate, our younger girls coming up, they'll have to be tougher, more physical, more skillful, and playing those skillful teams in intermediates. I mean, what better preparation to step up then to the seniors, you know.
It's great to have a second team as well, because there's some counties who don't, and the drop-off rate then is a concern, because you can have players who really go up to minor, then they don't get a sniff at senior level and they drop off and do something else. There's an avenue there for players in Limerick, at a young age particularly, to come in and get a good standard of camogie with the second team.
Yeah, having a second team has been great. It's been fantastic for girls, as you said, that have come up from minor. Even maturity levels or age levels, they might not be ready for senior yet, but playing junior all this summer, you know, they're after stepping it up another level. They're playing adult camogie, you know, they have big days like this in Croke Park at junior. So you'd be thinking when they get the call up then to senior, you know, they might be only 20 years old, but they've loads of experience under their belt already. So, I mean, that's down to having two teams and the work that's gone into Limerick and the county board, you know, and fielding two teams. It hasn't been easy.
You'd have a bit of familiarity with Kerry. You've played them already in the championship this year. When you look at the way that you've got to this final then, you had to scrap it out a little bit, bringing it down to the last weekend to make sure you qualified for the knockout stages. Was it a case of just building as the year went through?
Absolutely. The team we had for the league was very different to the team we have now. So in July, when we were training in June and July, we were getting to know each other, like absolutely with the minors coming in. But Kevin came on board, he was the minor manager, and I think the transition just went really smoothly. He knew the minors inside out. We were introduced then to Kevin and all the girls. And, you know, we gelled quickly, but as you said, every match we progressed and we improved and we got that bit closer and better. So it's been a gradual thing, you know, with every game we've got that bit better and that bit cuter and that bit more familiar with each other.
You're coming up against a Kerry team, I guess, who've been here last year and by their own admission underperformed a bit against Dublin in the final. But I guess it's something that you have to contend with, is that lack of experience by comparison to what they have of here and the big day.
I mean, they felt the pain outside in the pitch this time last year. So, you know, they're going to come all guns blazing. They're so close with each other. There's only one club in Kerry, you know. I'm sure it hurt an awful lot last year, and that defeat is definitely the fire in their bellies. So we're going to have to go up against that in a match that probably lacking a bit of experience, but you know, I think with the younger girls and things, we're just here to play camogie and to enjoy it and to work hard. And look, we're hoping it'll get us over the line. We will be underdogs, absolutely. You know, Kerry were here last year, you know, they don't want to be upset like they were last year, but we'll have to give it our all. Put up to them. Just
as it works out, there's jersey switches all over the place in front of this final. I believe Kerry are going to wear gold. Are you staying in green, or what's going to happen?
I'm 99.9% sure we're wearing navy. Okay. So I don't think either team are going to wear their own colours. So we'll be in the navy and Kerry will be in gold.
Does that mean for the next couple of weeks you've got left, you go to training and wear navy tops to try and get used to it?
No, we're going to stay in our training gear and try and keep things as simple as possible. I'd say we probably won't see the gear maybe until close to the time. Less distractions, the better. You know, we're just going to go out and concentrate on training and things like that. Keep it cool.
Is it hard to stay away from the distractions though? Because I'd imagine every day as this ticks away, you're thinking about Croke Park. It can be one of the only things in your mind, can't it?
Yeah, it has been difficult, but Kevin's been great and our managers and management team have been great. You know, they've constantly reminded us, you know, it's about the camogie, you know, but there's a very fine line between embracing the journey to the All-Ireland final and days like today and then trying to treat it like any other game. So, I mean, we just have to work and learn that on the day we're just going to have to park it a bit and just go out and play camogie. It's been great. Like, camogie's been promoted great on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. But at the same time, I suppose for the players seeing it, then you know you'd get the butterflies and things. But on the day, you know, it's just all about those fine margins of just trying to treat it like any other game in LIT. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, look, as 11:30 in the morning comes around on the 8th, I'm sure you'll be hoping that people are coming into the stadium and people are making their way from Limerick. But if they can't make it, for the first time, this is on TV properly. Premier Junior recent years was a streaming device as opposed to actually being on TV. That must be great for anyone who can't make it up, the fact that they can be sitting at home and can watch you at lunchtime on that Sunday.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Like even for families abroad and things as well, you know, it's fantastic that we're getting the coverage on live TV. It's brilliant, and it just shows how much Camogie is progressing every single year. That this year now the junior will be on TV like the other two games. It's just showing the hard work that's being put in the background, that every year there's probably progression for all teams, and that they're promoting it even further in the public eye. So it's fantastic, you know, and even for people at home that have really young kids maybe that would love to be there, or older people, grandparents, you know what I mean? I'm sure my granddad will be watching at home. It's fantastic for them too, you know, they might be gone too elderly to make it up to Croker, but to see us on the big screen, I'd say they'll be all very, very proud.
And finally, a word in your opposition, and how good are Kerry ahead of this final?
Kerry, they're fantastic. They're a fantastic bunch of girls. There's a few girls, nearly all the girls on the team are extremely skillful girls. Probably don't get it the credit they deserve, you know, being Kerry Camogie girls. They're up and coming. They're definitely putting Kerry on the map. But by no means will we underestimate them at all. These girls, you know, they're coming all guns blazing on the 8th, and we're very aware of that.
We're back again to Croke Park 2 years in a row, and I suppose the aim would have to be for Kerry to try and go that one step further and get your hands on the cup this year.
Yeah, exactly. We were absolutely just so disappointed in ourselves last year, just with our performance alone. It just wasn't what we had been playing all along. Now Dublin had the advantage being in Division 2 in the league, whereas we'd only been in Division 3, so they did have that bit of an advantage, and you could see it on the day. The actual day itself didn't get to them, whereas it kind of got to us a little bit, and we just didn't perform.
You had a tricky enough, I suppose, league this year, but going up the standard and maybe playing a better standard of team this year, has that helped your preparations for this Premier Junior Championship?
100%. Like, we really didn't get our management sorted until, I'd say it definitely was late January anyway, so we didn't have a lot of time before the first game. He didn't really know us. You know, it was hard for him to pick a team and to get us right for the league. So look, it was a really good experience to be up there with them. Now, obviously, if we played a little bit better, we probably would have contended them a little bit more. But the preparation hadn't been there because of the coaches not coming back into us as quickly as possible. But once we got going, I think we really started to show that we will be able to, you know, contend the games next year, Division 2.
You've been, I suppose, knocking at the door at Premier Junior level for a while. What would it mean for Kerry to make that move up to intermediate? Because you have had a taste now of playing intermediate teams at Division 2.
It would just be absolutely amazing. There's girls there playing with clubs underage, and they're looking up to us now. And you know, it's weird for us to see that, but it just means so much for Camogie and Kerry. Like we've only one senior club at the moment, so it would just help build the Camogie and Kerry for the future.
How have the preparations been going ahead of coming up to Croke Park in a couple of weeks?
They've been going pretty good. Attendance at training is very good, of course. But no, it's good. Like, Ian has kept our heads where they need to be, like focused on the day. We've had a few things just outside of Camogie just to keep us fresh and, you know, not to overdo it either. But no, the preparations are going good. We've had a good few challenge games, and everyone's absolutely buzzing for it.
And maybe, as you say, late bloomers into the year, you had a very good group stage campaign. You must have been very happy with how you went through June and July.
To an extent, yeah. I think sometimes we play half a game and kind of drift off then for a little bit and come back into it again, whereas what we're trying to do is actually play the full 60 minutes. But like, to win every game all along, we're very happy with that, and hopefully we'll just keep going for the rest of the year.
How good are this Limerick Junior team then?
They're very good. Like, it's never been there's never been much between the two teams. Even over the years, there's always been quite close, and I can't even remember what we beat them by in the championship this year, but it wasn't a lot, and they really put it up to us. Like, so it's going to be a difficult game.
You're probably, I suppose, expecting something similar. I think, as you say, you got over by a couple of points in the game in the group stages, and something similar you're expecting here on Sunday week?
Yeah, like, as in, if we have to perform if we want to come out with it. Like, that's the end of the day, and last year it didn't happen for us. So look, we're hoping that the last year's experience will stand to us a little bit, but Limerick are a serious side, and we've a lot to come up against, you know.
Well, for many of your panel, that would have been the first game to play at Croke Park. It is fairly intimidating, even when it is early in the day, and you know, the stand, even with the stands empty, this place it's a big cauldron, isn't it? Yeah. And maybe the fact that you've played here last year will help with the preparations going into this game.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Like, I think there's only one girl on the team that wasn't with us last year, so obviously it's all new to her, but the rest of us have been here. We had our walkthrough last year and everything before the game, but there's nothing that'll compare to that roar when you come out under the tunnel. It's just absolutely amazing, and you know, it does get you absolutely buzzing. It's just to settle those nerves, and hopefully that we'll be ready for it this year.
We've had some increased coverage this year in terms of the streaming, in terms of now TV coverage of the finals as well. Usually the Premier Junior would have been on the player as opposed to being on the TV. I suppose for you, you'd like the memory of going up the steps after winning the game being on TV. But just the fact it's on television must be great for you guys and maybe any of your family members who can't make the trip up from the Kingdom on the day.
Yeah, like I know there's a good few people now. My auntie alone is absolutely over the moon because she wouldn't have been able to see it otherwise. She's not able to make it up, and there's a few of the girls' grandparents and stuff that can't come up, and they're just delighted that they can actually watch it on the TV now. And look, we'd be delighted to be able to record it and hopefully be able to watch back and be happy about it, you know. So
I suppose your hope would be, as you mentioned, you know, the club scene's quiet enough in terms of Kerry with one club and so on, that if you were to win, you could inspire the next generation of players and maybe inspire Camogie to go around the county as well.
yeah, hopefully, like it is starting to get bigger. We've 2 new underage clubs this year, but it's just that to keep that building, you need to have something that they're looking up to, and hopefully that they'll think, right, I might get a chance to win our Kerry jersey sometime, you know, and it'll just hopefully keep on playing that bit longer and bring it up to senior level, that we will get a second senior club in Kerry eventually.
Speaking about jerseys, do you get to wear green and gold on the day, or are you and Limerick going to have to swap?
We both have to change. So Limerick are going with the navy and we're going back to gold. So yeah, so we're going to have the gold jerseys for the day. So it's something different.
Excellent, you're going to look fashionable. Best of luck on the day.
Thanks a million.